coach for the Bears in the 1980s.
I take that as a compliment. Defensive-minded, hard-nosed defense. We got the big interior, good linebackers, solid safety.
Like you brought the pound of brewski and some sausage.
I don't know what I'm doing. This is not the intro. Oh gosh. I didn't have a comeback player of the year. I had a surprising player. It's someone that Carrie's gonna like.
Bad taste.
Wow.
Sam Darnold. I think Sam Darnold
Jesus
is
Christ.
gonna have a great year in Minnesota.
What did he come back from? Sucking?
He's in on Will Levis like he was in on Daniel Jones. It's a.
I've never been on Daniel Jones that much.
Zach Carey, don't like.
My goodness, I supported that guy like 3 years ago,
dude.
And the last one.
Oh, how soon they forget.
Or no?
I don't know. I just like the music idea. Also,
music idea is good.
Zach, we're having in-game interviews.
Yeah, and I've talked it over. We have a tripod that I showed you guys last week that you thought was not a tripod. You thought was something.
Well, you held it upside down, so.
Okay, that was an error on me, but it wasn't tripod. You only thought it was that if you already knew what that was beforehand. Coming into the podcast, you had to know what a dildo was in order to. Anyways.
And Purely fans.
So yeah, we're gonna have
on YouTube.
Speaking of which, we found out earlier. Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Beerly Football Podcast about football but barely. I'm your host, Zachary Smith. Joining me as always is he ain't too proud to beg, but he loves getting pegged. It's Beerly Trev Scott.
All right. All right, man. All right. I'm here. I'm ready.
I guess so.
He likes popping cherries, and his name is Carrie. It's Beerly Carrie.
Jeez, at least Carrie got a nasty one this week, too.
Cherries are disgusting. Goodness.
How we doing tonight, boys?
Pretty good. Taco Tuesday. Tummy's full of tacos. Ready to talk some football with the brethren.
I feel like you say that every week and you've never ate
taco. You're saying you're ready to talk about football.
Taco about football. It is Taco Tuesday. Happy Taco Tuesday, boys. I got a cold drink in my right hand.
Shout out to Ireland.
I got something in my left hand.
Last week, I did an intro about bidets. I want to hear your guys' thought. Is that stupid hippo cute or not? Or is it just an ugly little guy?
I mean, it's objectively cute, dude.
I don't know what hippo you're talking about.
Moo dang.
You've definitely seen it.
Is this like
it's in all
that got killed in the zoo?
No, it's all the memes now. Little hippo that's not open. Moo dang.
Dang.
What is the gorilla's name that got killed?
Oh, Harambe.
Harambe, yeah.
When we started on this dark path as a society.
Yeah, really.
Did Trump just
was murdered?
And that one video. Go ahead.
Did Trump just pop up like when Harambe died? Like Harambe's soul went into Trump or something?
Maybe. We could have some dark politics started off like that. We've had some darker starts to the episodes lately.
Yeah,
Milk.
And nothing's darker than getting pegged, right, Trevor?
I have no idea what you're talking about, actually. I have no experience in any of that business, so I can't say one way or the other.
Sounds like you just need a good glass of milk.
But maybe I'll let you know next week. There's a hurricane coming through Florida. I'll be forced to be inside, maybe pick up a new habit. Maybe this egging, what you speak of, I'll give it a shot. What are we drinking tonight? It sounds like we obviously need to get some drinks.
Trevor, doesn't your dad listen to this podcast?
Let's hope not. Let's hope no one in my family listens to this podcast. Let's hope nobody that knows me listens to this podcast outside of Twitter, really. But yeah.
Alrighty. What are you guys drinking tonight? We'll start with the pegging man.
Mine's easy. It's the same as last week's Schaffer Hoppers. I had a hard week last week, so I got the 2.5%. I got 2 left of these. They're still banged up because I dropped them on the floor, but they taste delicious. Have you guys had these? Yeah, right? You guys have had a Schaffer Hopper.
I don't think I've ever tried it.
I don't remember.
Really? It's a grapefruit.
Didn't I have it at that bar Jazz worked at?
Okay. Yeah.
No,
probably.
yeah.
That's where I had it for the first time, probably.
Yeah.
But I love grapefruits, and grapefruit 2.5%. It's great. What are you guys sipping on? Sipping on.
I'll read the description first before I say what it is. Rich, dark, balanced. This full-bodied and, dare we say, decadent stout is aged in bourbon barrels for notes of cocoa, vanilla, and oak.
Can I say what it sounds like you're describing right now?
Sure.
Sounds like you're describing P. Diddy.
Sure, man.
Read it again.
Is rich, dark, balanced. This full-bodied and, dare we say, decadent stout is aged in bourbon barrels for notes of cocoa, vanilla, and oak. Pairs well with any gathering. He did like gatherings, and he was dark, and he likes cocoa and vanilla. So
and rich, yeah, baby oil, 1,000 bottles. Unbelievable.
This is an Allagash Gatherwell. This is a bourbon barrel aged stout, and this is 11%. This is very high. I feel like this is not going to taste great.
We had a sip of it yet?
It's going to taste really good.
It's okay.
It's just going to be heavy.
It doesn't taste that strong for 11. Like, it's not as bad.
It's when you age something in bourbon barrel, it gets higher percentage because a little bit of the bourbon comes out of the oak into the.
Is it
it's a better taste than I would think for 11%. It's just like a little stronger IPA with a little bit of a bourbon hint in the back.
What?
What'd you have?
IPA? How does a stout taste like an IPA?
They all taste the same.
That's so crazy. That's crazy.
You know what's even crazier is that guy won beer matching. This guy.
Well, to be fair, it was all light beers.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Never been wrong at anything ever.
All right, I am kicking it off with a McClellan 15 little glass right here just to get us started.
Oh,
and then
Scotchly Sports. This is Scotchly.
And then I'm having the drink of a lesser man because I'm a fan of the Jaguars. And it's the colors of the Bills. I'm having a red, white, and berry Smirnoff Ice Smash.
Wow,
because we got smashed.
Yeah, I'd keep watching this episode. Zach might throw up after drinking one of those.
Nope, probably not though.
Oh, I have some Seagram's ginger ale in the fridge. I should have done like a little jump scare, see if Zach like gagged or something.
Shut the fuck up.
What do we want to talk? Do we want to talk about football first? Any bidets, milk, anything? What do you guys have for dinner?
Well, this is a couple weeks ago, but I did find out that Josh Allen is a milk with spaghetti kind of guy.
Yes, I knew it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's unbelievably odd to pair Carrie and Carrie and Josh Allen that way together.
That guy knows ball, bro.
How did you find? How does one
it was on the Buffalo Bills TikTok.
Incredible! It's a vibe. Some people get it, some don't. It's
okay.
insane.
So we
if you're a listener, try it.
That's like another chicken and the egg question. Who ate the pasta and milk first, Carrie or Josh Allen? You guys are close in age too, right? Josh Allen's like 28, 29.
Let me look. I've been doing it since I was a kid.
Yeah.
That's what he said too.
Exactly. He is 4 months older than me.
So maybe Josh Allen gets the nod.
Maybe I was inspired by.
I think I'm leaning toward Josh Allen getting the nod if he's older.
Barely Carey's a fierce competitor.
Do you guys know he used to be a Patriots fan?
Is that true?
He's a kid. Yeah.
Did you see all those deleted tweets that he said?
Probably.
I don't want to misquote him, but I'm just not even going to go near it. Just Google it when the kids aren't around.
Have you had some deleted tweets in your past?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have we all deleted?
I've never deleted a tweet ever.
I have it on record that if I die, I want somebody to get on my phone and just tweet all my drafts.
Oh, his drafts.
Just one by one.
The public does not need to see those.
Yeah, they do.
The world does not need to see those.
Yeah, they do. And that'll be like my highest Twitter people that will ever be looking at my Twitter account, like right after I died, probably.
Probably.
Actually, maybe don't. leak my drafts. Yeah, never mind. Never mind. Keep them in there. Maybe not.
Let's start with some college. Trevor, you were hyping up USF to beat Miami for some reason.
First of all, you always say the craziest stuff about me. I never said that. I bet money on Miami. They were on my parlay. Why would I want USF to win? Why would I think USF's going to win if I bet on Miami?
Do I need to read out your tweets again?
But I told you, you can't always take what I say on Twitter real.
In group chats.
Yeah, I was trolling Zach. And also, okay, let me just start from the top because Kerry loves to be accusatory and he makes up a lot of stuff. I think Kerry does drugs. But
I don't think that's the person on here that does drugs.
Anyways, I did recently find out that was like family weekend or something because I guess it's the end of September, so I guess classes just started. But that stadium was packed out. I had no idea USF got down like that. I sent you guys the chants they were chanting, right?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, they were loud. The stadium was packed. It was a really good environment. And a great first half too. I got a bit too inebriated. They sell the really big neutrals there, and I had about 3 of them. And the last thing I remember, it was 22-15. Wake up the next morning, it was 50-15. So Miami obviously got it going in the second half, but it was a really good first half of football. The stadium was rocking. The neutrals were kicking.
I heard a rumor that you were so drunk you were throwing up all Sunday afternoon. Was that
no? I threw up 3 times on Sunday, and my last throw up was around like 2:45. No, my last throw up was when I looked at the TV and the Bucks were down 17-0 to the Broncos. I threw up, but that had nothing to do with my my hangover.
Your level of intoxication.
Yeah. No, I can't drink like I used to, man. I must be getting older or something. But also, 3-4 of those humongous neutrals, not a good idea.
No, probably not.
But yeah, the body's getting back into the swing of things. A little hair of the dog that bit you, a little. This is like a chihuahua, the hair of a chihuahua, little 2.5% right here.
No, that's like a stuffed animal.
Yeah, this is like the Webkins that I had when I was in like 3rd grade. Yeah.
I feel like you definitely tortured your Webkins. You didn't feed
I love Coco and George. You kidding me? I had a chocolate lab named Coco and a bulldog named George.
I never got into Webkins, I'm going to be honest.
I didn't either.
What about Club Penguin?
Nope.
That's
where the pedophiles were.
Club Penguin was more fun than Webkins.
No wonder Trevor was there, Zach.
Yeah. Trevor's like, yeah, actually, I was on there last week.
Add me.
Zach,
Trev Daddy 64.
I wonder
did you watch any of the other big games, Zach?
Huh?
Did you watch any of the other big college games this weekend, like USC, Michigan, Tennessee, Oklahoma?
What college games did I watch? I had a busy Saturday.
I can imagine.
We had the club championship at Georgia Club this past weekend. So,
Cooked Zane,
I watched
from what I heard and saw.
Huh?
Cooked Zane from what I heard and saw.
That was a different tournament. I mean,
that was the weekend before.
Right, you're right.
That was Monday and Tuesday of that.
Sorry, Zane. A little shot there that you didn't need.
He's not too confident in his game right now. We talked about it on Bealey.
Because he used it all in the bachelor party, dude.
Yeah, I didn't use any of it during the bachelor party, but I cooked last week.
Tell us about this Georgia Open.
This is not a golf podcast. Dude.
Why?
So anyway, we had the club championship, so I didn't get to watch a ton of football because I was having to run around and do a bunch of different stuff. I did watch the Miami game that afternoon.
You didn't watch General Booty take on Texas?
No.
Arch Manning,
Louisiana Monroe. I thought he went to Alabama.
I think he transferred. But I'll say Arch Manning, he did not have a good game.
I agree.
I'm just looking at his stats. That running back went crazy. 125 and 3 touchdowns.
I was surprised in the new rankings that Miami went down a spot. Which is kind of
Where they at?
What, like 8 to 9 or something?
7 to 8.
This has
on
them at
ESPN.
Well, I'm looking at them right now, and they're 7.
AP,
It's probably
AP has them at 7.
Oh, okay. They moved him down on ESPN. They got jumped by like Ole Miss, who played like St. Mary's School of the Blind last week.
AP has Ole Miss going down 1.
They were 5 though.
They're 6.
Yeah,
Yeah, they were 5.
Tennessee.
Tennessee went up after pretty easily beating Oklahoma.
What are they?
Yeah.
What's
Jackson Arnold is terrible. He's not a good quarterback.
What is Tennessee up to?
5.
Nice. We got Georgia and Alabama this week.
We do.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Is that 3? No, that's late. 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock, something like that.
Who you got in that game?
Man, where is it? Bama? It's
I
a
think
nighttime
it is.
game in Tuscaloosa, I think. So all
7:30 in Bama.
man, I don't know. We should do that for a
Streets
college
are safe in Athens this Saturday, so
I'll take
that's
Georgia.
all I care about.
Also,
I might take Bama, but I think Carson Beck is one of the better quarterbacks that Georgia's had in like the last 5 years. But I don't know. I think it could go either way. But I'll very gently take Alabama because
What's the spread at right now?
Probably like 2.5. Dude.
yeah, 2.5 Bama favorite.
Man, I'm so good.
I'll take Georgia with the points.
I'll take Georgia. Also,
Roll Tide.
last week we did a little pick'em one. Illinois versus Nebraska. I was the only one that picked Illinois. I think Illinois has a chance to upset Penn State this week. Penn State is an overrated team that always chokes. I think Illinois could upset.
So here's the problem though, Kerry. They always choke against Ohio State and Michigan.
And Penn State always has a good defense. It's just they can
Penn
never
State
have
doesn't play anyone good.
Who's their
Which is
quarterback
so
right now?
weird. You think Penn State would be able to recruit a quarterback?
Especially because like they have like an NFL wide receiver like every few years.
Yeah.
I think he was a high recruit, I think, wasn't he?
Drew Aller, yeah. Where did he come from?
I keep seeing things about him being an NFL prospect. I'm like, what?
He probably is. If what is that guy with the long last name? Number 4.
Hackenberg?
Yeah, Hackenberg. He was such a good NFL
Hackenberg.
prospect out of Penn State. But you know who it's really gonna be? It's gonna be this guy, like Liam Clifford. Probably he's gonna be a good NFL player in like 4 years from now.
What about Miami plays on Friday. Interesting.
Who's that? VT.
Yeah.
The old
How about
Coke?
How about 15 Louisville at 16 Notre Dame?
I'm rooting for Louisville
That's
so
a tough
bad.
one.
They beat them last year, didn't they? I think Louisville beat Notre Dame, right?
Louisville should take care of Notre Dame this week. They
It's
should.
at Notre Dame. Does that?
So was NIU.
But Louisville's not a big school. I feel like this could go either way. It just depends on what Louisville
And
what
NIU is a
Notre
big
Dame
school.
will. No, you're right. I don't know, man.
I use the NIU example because but Louisville's not a big school, so like I don't know.
Also, Trevor, you're a Colorado fanboy. Were you upset they had no vote? They received no votes for top 25, 3-1. They beat Baylor in overtime. I guess a lot of people were mad they weren't.
Nah, I don't care. I like watching them play though. They're entertaining, and the Gators actually they looked like a competent.
Baylor
football
sold
team.
that game so hard, by the way.
Yeah, you can't rely on that defense for anything. But
Like
Baylor, man.
put 8 guys in the end zone. Like honestly,
oh, you're talking about Baylor, Colorado,
yeah.
Yeah. What were you talking about, Trevor?
Florida, and Mississippi State, because I brought it up really quickly in there. But
Yeah, y'all beat the Bulldogs.
Yeah, we
Second
looked
time
good.
this year.
yeah,
Proud of you.
hey, going on 3s. Good things come in 3s, dude. I don't care if we go 3-9 or whatever. If we do the Bulldog sweep, that'll be man. We can keep
Sanford,
Billy
Mississippi
Dangerous,
State,
too.
Georgia.
We
That's
do the Bulldog sweep.
a schedule, dude.
No, yeah, but
All right. Let's head to
Does that
NFL
put y'all
pick'em.
2-2?
what's that? Yeah,
Does that
What?
put y'all 2-2?
heading. I think we have a bye week this week, and then it's Texas. So yeah, definitely
luck
let me
for
know
that.
who's Colorado's playing.
Graham Mertz Heisman masterclass.
Nah, but I want to see Lagway in that game a little bit. Like I don't want to see him a lot. I just want to see him a little bit to see if he can have a couple cool plays against Texas. But yeah, whoever Colorado is playing in 2 weeks when Florida is playing that game, I will tune into Colorado.
All right, let's head into NFL pick'em.
All
There's
right.
was a rough week last week for some of us.
Gary went 0-3. That's
We're not there yet. I haven't said it. Maybe I do better than you thought. I'll do our pick'em winners first because there's not many of them. Play along with us every Friday. We post this. Get all three right. We'll shout you out on the pod. We had a season low, only 10 winners this week, and we only have
There
one.
we go. That's what we want to see. Okay, when we're picking games, we want to see low amount of winners.
We only have one person with more than one win 3 weeks in.
Is it Mary?
No. So our 10 winners this week, we had at Jace Jordan 1, a Buddhist from North Carolina.
Shout out to Buddhism.
At C. Joseph Wright, 2-time winner, current leader. At Joel Topping 1, he's terrible at golf. At Hailster,
I can give you lessons, buddy.
You could. Winnipeg Jets fan. At Estrella Nowak, retired Navy and Steelers fan. At Sweet Dew 55, he's trustworthy. He's Roderick Owens. At Midwest Deadhead, Steeler fan. At Look at That Mango, Bills and Leaf fan. At GRFII, 2-time winner. So there's two-time winners, him and C. Joseph Wright. And at BWA Adams, dog lover and Colts fan.
Gary, is it Look at That Man Go or Look at That Mango?
Let's look at that. I don't know, actually. Could be either. It's up.
Look at that mango, man.
Yeah.
Go.
I don't know.
Shout out to all the winners, man.
Yeah, shout out to them.
Mary, next week. Come on. Got to hear her up there. Carrie, usually give us a college football pick 'em. Did none of these games? I guess did we all do Georgia?
Georgia, Bama. I said Georgia. You said.
I said Bama, but I thought we.
And Zach
said Georgia with the points.
Yeah. Last thing I want to say about college football, because I meant to bring this up. This is not a snark at anything like I made it on Twitter, but we had James Madison play a Power 5 school and put up 70 points. That
deserves a shout out. James Madison over North Carolina.
What's the final?
70 to 50, I think.
That's
I
crazy.
saw it on the bottom of my screen, and I was like, "Is women's college basketball on?"
Yeah. Yeah.
I had to Google it right away. That's incredible. Yeah.
No,
Shout out James Madison.
All right. So for our pick'em, I had a rough week. I picked the Texans, the Chargers, and the Cardinals 0-3. I fall to 3-6 on the season.
That's tough.
Zach, a little better week. He went 1-2. He picked the Vikings, the Chargers, and the Cardinals. Only one to pick the Vikings, though, so shout out to him for that.
Yeah,
he's now 5-4 on the season.
Sam Darnold's a killer.
He is. Unfortunately, Trevor went 2-1, picking the Texans, the Steelers, and the Lions, only missing on Houston. He improves to 6-3 in the season. So through 3 weeks, Trevor 6 wins, Zach 5 wins. Carrie.
Okay, I'm only down 1. I'm okay with that. Okay with that.
All right, Trevor. So what we got?
We got a lot of fun games this week. Jordan Love's not back though, right?
He might be. I mean, they thought he could come back.
He's the second best quarterback on that team, clearly. So
utter nonsense.
If I take Vikings, Packers, it's in Lambeau, but I figure all of us will take the Vikings if Jordan Love's not playing. So
I'm more inclined to take the Vikings or the Packers if Jordan Love is not playing.
Is not playing?
This man is a troll.
Malik Willis is better than Jordan
But
Love.
you're going to take the Vikings either way, no matter.
Yeah, I am going to take the Vikings.
Trevor, can you write down that quote?
What's up?
Zach just said Malik Willis is better than Jordan Love and post that on the graphic.
He said something last week to that tune that was a little bit more quotable. I might have to go back and listen to that.
That's crazy, dude.
But I do remember him saying something last week.
Malik Willis is cooking, bro.
So we'll actually start it off just because I'm still thinking about the other two. I'm open to suggestions, but we'll start it off with a game that has to be on the slate. Sunday Night Football, Bills-Ravens. You know who I'm taking. The MVP. This is going to be a good game, I hope.
Trevor loves his Ravens. He loves the Ravens. He's always wanted the Ravens to be the center of his life, you know?
That's true, bro.
Anyways. Actually, I'll let you guys sit on that one a little bit. Let's
do you know no one can carry the ball like a Raven?
Or do you guys come to a conclusion here?
Wait,
I'll go Bills. Just for the
Zach?
vibe.
What's the thing? Sorry, there was so much talking.
Bills-Ravens, Sunday Night Football.
Bills.
All right.
I can't.
Is somebody writing us down or should I?
I am.
All right, sounds good. Saints-Falcons, 1 o'clock. It's in the Georgia Dome.
Mercedes
the
Benz.
Falcons.
I'll take Falcon.
You guys took the Falcons.
We're all taking the Falcons.
I'll take the Saints.
Ooh. Okay. What about
Eric McCoy's going to be a big loss, sadly.
Huh?
Eric McCoy's going to be a big loss for the Saints.
Okay.
If you knew who he was.
Nerd. Probably like an offensive lineman knowing you.
Yeah.
Anyways, last game, Commanders Cardinals. I know we had a Cardinals game last week, but that could be an interesting one.
Yeah.
Commanders coming off a fresh.
It's going to be a high-scoring game.
Yeah,
I
was thinking the same thing.
That's at 4:00. So last week there was a lot of. I mean, we'll get into it, but there was a lot of good games in the 4:00 window. So, I'll go first. I'll take the Cardinals.
Zach?
Carrie.
Everything's telling
did
me.
you take someone?
Everything in my body is telling me not to take the Commanders, but my heart is saying Commanders.
Dude, I like what they play hard. Like even if they're outmatched, whatever.
Do they?
Yeah, even last year, like against the Eagles when their season was over, like against the Cowboys, like they were still. Which, granted, it's NFC East. They always want to beat those teams, but
like literally nothing on their team excites me at all besides Daniels.
It's a bunch of old.
I like their colors. I like their colors.
They got old Bobby Wagner. Doesn't he have a Super Bowl MVP back in there somewhere?
Zach Ertz.
Yeah.
I'll go opposite of Trevor again. I'll go with Commanders. Actually, no, I'm going to Cardinals.
Okay.
Final.
So 1:00 window. This is good. We have a day game, an afternoon game, a night game.
You already did 3.
What?
You already did 3.
I know.
Yeah.
We got the Saints and the Cardinals at 1:00. Nope. We have the Saints and the Falcons.
This is why I didn't want to let you keep talking.
I'm taking the Falcons, and both of you guys are taking the Saints. Is that right?
No. Carrie took the Falcons.
Well, I didn't write it down. Carrie, you talk then. I don't know.
Trevor, you took the Ravens, the Falcons, and the Cardinals. Zach took the Bills, the Saints, and the Commanders, and I took the Bills, the Falcons, and the Cardinals.
Oh, so me and Zach are flip-flopped.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, so we're gonna have an
big week.
Watch, we're just gonna be tied next week. All this for nothing.
Trevor's consistently 2-1 though. Didn't this happen last year too?
That happened last year. I went 2-1 every week.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Consistently 2-1 for no reason.
I forgot about that until just now.
I think this is one of those weeks where I go 3-0. I think this is it.
Another game I kind of want to get your guys' thoughts on: Cowboys and Giants Thursday night football. What do you guys think?
Dak has beaten them like 12 straight times. I don't think
but this Cowboys team does not. I don't know. They don't do it for me like
the Cowboys are gonna win by 20.
I think
so?
I think it's gonna be a blowout. Cowboys win. They're gonna be pissed coming off back-to-back losses. Daniel Jones will have no answer.
I don't know.
You believe in Daniel Jones, Trevor?
No, but I mean, all he's doing is spamming Malik Neighbors and then giving them all to Devin Singletary, who had a good game for the first time in a year. But
I don't see a problem with that.
yeah, me neither. And the Cowboys can't run the ball. I saw something earlier for them that they should try to sign Aaron Jones in the offseason.
Did you see the Cowboys didn't want to sign Derrick Henry because he's too much money?
Yeah, look at him now. Balling. Goodness, he had a great game. So what do we want to talk about? Zach, do we want to start it off with the Jags or no?
What do y'all guys want to talk about?
Let's just start off with Thursday night football. Carrie's team got.
Do you know what I want to talk about? I had to listen to Zach all last week blabble about Bryce Young, not the issue. Andy Dalton's not going to do anything. They have no weapons, nothing. Guess what? Andy Dalton was the best quarterback in the NFL this week. And all these weapons, play great. Bryce Young, if he, in his dreams, he couldn't even play this well. The only way Bryce Young could ever play this well in a game is if this guy's playing Madden. Come on. Bryce Young sucks. Andy Dalton, I don't know how long this will hold out. This is a much better team with Andy Dalton.
Andy Dalton is how old? 30-something?
Red Rifle.
36? Yeah, that's
He's
kind of
old,
crazy
dude.
that he was kind of able to. But he played in the AFC North in the 2010s, dude. I mean,
But he did the same exact thing last season. And he came in, played one game, had like 400 yards, and then he just never played again.
I have a question, Jerry, and I'm not going to look at you any different. Did you watch this game?
Too much of this game.
You watched the Panthers and the Raiders, dude?
Andy Dalton had some incredible throws. Deontay Johnson looked like.
But you're a pretty big Bryce hater, so this is like a hate watch for you.
I put $30 on Deontay Johnson in fantasy waiver wires. That's how excited I am for him. Wow. Unfortunately, Adam Thielen was sacrificed to the gods for this win.
Wasn't he starting off well, and then he got hurt?
I don't know if you saw. There's a touchdown to him. He caught it, and then he died immediately. Placed on IR.
I don't know why I laughed at that.
What times? Zach.
Not funny, but it made me laugh.
Zach, Andy Dalton wasn't good. I should have bet you last week. I just said he was going to press you. Should have done a physical bet.
You never like betting stuff, Kerry.
He likes running his mouth and not backing it up with anything.
Oh.
But you guys should have bet. You guys definitely should have bet because
I would have won.
That did not look like Bryce Young out there. That looked like Andy Dalton.
Okay. So out of curiosity, Kerry, of the 3 teams that they've played so far, which team had the worst defense?
Not the Raiders.
The Raiders.
Yeah.
Let me see.
They played the Chargers and the Saints, and the Raiders is not the worst defense they've played so far.
The Raiders have pretty good defense, dude.
Are they as good as the Chargers and the Saints?
They're not as good as the Chargers.
I think they're as good as the Chargers.
I don't know about the
No, they're not.
The Saints have a better defense.
The Saints and the Chargers both have a better defense.
So, even if they did, in your opinion, we go from a guy that can't even complete a first down to a guy that's tossing 30 points in the first half that can't miss a throw, that all these receivers suddenly have life in them. The team is energized. It's like they did a bunch of crack and we're like, yeah, let's be a football team today. Did anyone ever want to watch the Carolina Panthers in the first 2 weeks of the season? No.
I don't think anyone wanted to watch them this week, except you.
You obviously didn't. They were an incredible team to watch. Go watch some highlights. Andy Dalton was balling. Deontay Johnson, Adam Thielen. This team was fun to watch. Zach, you've Chubba Hubbard on your team. I'll give you a lot for Chubba Hubbard. That man's got the stuff.
No, you won't.
I'll trade you George Pickens for Chubba Hubbard right now.
I thought you said a lot.
Yeah.
My team's terrible. That's like my third best player.
Dude, Kerry almost gave me a very good trade yesterday, but he
took
it back.
It was Jahmyr Gibbs, Garrett Wilson, and
Rashad White.
Rashad White
for like Joe Burrow and Rasheed Rice or something.
And Devin Singletary.
Yeah.
I'm 0-3, man. I got to change.
Imagine being 0-3 in a fantasy football league. Couldn't be me.
I'm 1-8 this year in my 3 leagues. That is rough. Not of the year.
Zach.
I drafted literally everybody on the same teams and it didn't work out.
Oh man.
Zach, I think Beerly Fantasy, I think you might be 0-3.
I'm not.
You're not?
Nope.
I know you won a close one last
I went 3-0 this week in fantasy in my 3 leagues that I'm in.
Good work.
Oh, Hubert wanted me to pass along a message to you.
Oh yeah?
But I'm only going to pass along the first part of the message. He said he wants to slap you because of how much that hurt, but he said he wants to slap you somewhere that I'm not going to say. But
you want to slap my ass?
Yeah.
It wouldn't be the first time a guy said that to me. Won't be the last.
Zach walks around with that wagon on him, dude. Anyways, Thursday Night Football.
I want to say, my take earlier this offseason saying the Jets would win the AFC looked pretty crazy. And after seeing them week 1 and week 2, it didn't look good. But if they play like the team they did this week, yes, it was the shitty Patriots. They look great. Aaron Rodgers looked like
against the shitty Patriots, I agree they look good.
But the Patriots have a good defense. That is our one good trait. Our defense is good, and Aaron Rodgers tore it apart.
And it looked like the Jets probably should have scored a lot more than 24 points. They had a lot of drive killers that were penalties. They shot themselves in the foot a lot. But
yes.
Yeah, the Patriots could not do anything against them. First of all, that offensive line, I complain a lot about the Bears' offensive line being like the worst that I've seen in a long time. That Thursday night game, the Patriots look like college guys out there trying to guard the New York Jets defensive line.
They signed Michael Jordan. He's not the basketball player, guys, off the practice squad, and he was starting on Thursday. They're starting a bunch of homeless men out there. Goodness.
So, Gary, what was the problem with defense?
Jacoby Brissett
is a quarterback and not on the defense, but okay, continue.
Missed some throws. But my God, that guy had like 6 seconds. They're sacrificing that man so Drake May doesn't die. It's pretty sad. I feel bad.
They put Drake May in at the end, and he couldn't do anything either.
He did. He had one good throw, and that was it. He did not look ready
to fall forward.
But I don't think many quarterbacks can play with this line right now. But Patriots defense, they lost Bentley, who was pretty much their leader for the season. That's been a tough loss. Barmore, who's their best defensive lineman, is out for the year with blood clots.
Are you serious?
Christian Gonzalez was doing pretty good on Garrett Wilson. Did give up a touchdown, but it's pretty good coverage, so I'll take it. First touchdown he's ever given up. But Patriots defense, without Bentley, looked lost. I mean, this team, they surprised me week 1. I got my hopes up, and then, sadly.
Who did they beat week 1?
The Bengals.
Yeah, that's right. And then overtime in Seattle?
Yeah, at least I can say I'm not a Jaguars fan, so I got something going for me.
Jeez Louise. Shout out to the Jets, though. Shout out to the Jets. Do we want to talk about the Jags? I mean, we're at Sunday. Wait,
that's Monday.
Right?
That's a Monday game. We're on Sunday.
Monday game.
We're at Sunday, 1 o'clock. Anything you guys want to talk about? Giants, Browns. The 1 o'clock games were, I mean, it was nothing special.
The 1 o'clock games are better than the 4 p.m. games.
Hi.
That 1 o'clock was better than 4, Trevor.
What's that?
The 1 o'clock were better than the 4 o'clock. You kept hyping up the 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock was mid.
The 4 o'clock were good matchups.
They're
What was
better
so good
matchups.
about the 1 o'clock? I had a. You talked about your hate watch. You should let me talk about my hate watch.
Go ahead.
Man, CJ Stroud. Ooh, we got humbled immediately, man. He was in jail for the first half, was he not? He couldn't do anything out there. It looked like when he was playing the Ravens in the playoffs.
Yeah, he did. He had a terrible game, but unlike you, when my quarterbacks I really like for a bad game, I could admit it. He played terrible.
No, it's not just that he had a terrible game. It's that he got humbled after trying to give Caleb Williams, talking about, tried to little bro him, tried to son him. What has CJ Stroud done besides have a pretty good first season?
Besides win Rookie of the Year, have one of the best rookie seasons.
Okay, Rookie of the Year.
Besides that.
Okay, but what is Rookie of the Year?
The best player of your entire class.
That's like the tallest midget in most cases.
The Rookie of the Year is meaningless.
No, Carrie.
That's not what you just said.
I'm just saying it's like.
Well, guess what? Caleb Williams ain't winning Rookie of the Year anytime soon, so you better get ready for that because Stroud's already won up on him on that.
Would you like to put some money on that?
$10. It's Daniels' race, bud.
Yeah, sorry.
It's easily Daniels.
Your guy is Daniels and my guy is. What happens if neither one of them win it? We both pay Zach.
Sure. Yeah, let's do that. $10
right.
each.
Yeah. Let's go. I don't know who I'm rooting for.
But I will say Daniels looked amazing. I'm not going
Zach is not on Caleb Williams.
Zach's got to be rooting for Drake May or
on the
Drake
flip,
May. He's
there's
not
no way
playing.
Allen or something.
Yeah.
Maybe Brian Thomas Jr. will have a crazy second half of the year.
Yeah.
Hey, Bo Nix had a pretty good third game. But speaking of that Texans game, on the other side, Zach, I'll let Zach talk on Sam Darnold, but I want to say this Viking defense led by Brian Flores is legit, and they are very good.
They're very good. This is a good team.
Zach,
listen, hey, I don't want to say I told you so to Trevor, because Trevor was the one who said that I was crazy for saying Sam Darnold was going to have an insanely good year. But I told you so. I mean, listen.
Go ahead.
Listen. Sam Darnold, we've seen him in the past have the ability to not only throw the ball downfield, but throw the ball accurately, under pressure, downfield, on bad teams. He also can move. He's not what I would consider a mobile quarterback, but he can move. And when you put those two things together behind a decent O-line, great weapons, a good defense, it's a recipe for success. And it's a recipe for success that not a lot of quarterbacks get in their career.
I'd say it's a great defense, honestly.
And
And he's missing Addison and Hawk too. Imagine how good he's going to look when those
Did
two
you say
are.
Hawk Tua?
I said Hawk,
Did you?
not Tua.
That's what I heard too.
Oh,
He's missing Hawk Tua.
Hawk
dude,
Tua.
I have such brain rot. I have such brain rot, dude.
Vikings.
I think. Listen, Kerry, I'm gonna be honest. I think he's getting plenty of Hawk Tua.
Yeah. Are we going all in on his Vikings contenders?
I am.
I am too. They're looking.
It's the
pretty
NFC, so why not? I mean, the NFL's not going to want it. They're going to want a big dog.
Sam Darnold obviously is going to be in comeback player of the year too.
Also, they have one of the best chants in the NFL.
True. Is he going to be the MVP race?
Oh.
He's got eight touchdowns in 3 games.
Too early for that.
Skull.
Yeah, true.
Skull.
But it's a good thing because a lot of these what was he drafted? 3rd overall?
He's
Dude, we saw him, like-
younger. He's younger than Burrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's 27. But it's good because a lot of guys, come into the NFL and they struggle, and then they get written off or they get cut or they get sent to the CFL or something. Sam Darnold kind of just put his head down, find a good spot, and he's comfortable down there, dude.
It seems to be happening a lot lately with Geno Smith, Baker Mayfield, now Sam Darnold. Who's next? Zach
Two of
Wilson.
those guys used to play for the.
Dude,
Wait, hold on. The Panthers.
imagine Zach Wilson.
2 of them played for the Jets too, Zach.
That's true.
Tara, here's another one. This was a close game until Justin Herbert got hurt. Steelers, another win. Justin Fields, undefeated. I don't know why you still think Russell Wilson's better. Justin Fields leading the way, 3-0.
I do think that Russell Wilson would run I think the offense would be better, but their offense is their defense, and this is the only team in the NFL who they're just gonna beat you by their defense, and it's great. It's almost like there's nothing you can do about it.
The Chargers did negative yards in the second half of that
And
game.
the best thing about Justin Fields, if you don't turn the ball over, you'll never lose that job in Pittsburgh, dude. You don't have to do anything crazy. You don't have to.
I mean, they're just honestly, they're playing like Pittsburgh plays.
Yeah.
When you think about Pittsburgh Steelers, it's like, oh, they got a good defense. Their offense is kind of mediocre, but they don't turn the ball over and make big mistakes, so they're fine.
Have they had a bad defense in our lifetime?
That's what I was thinking, dude. I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't think so, man.
But should the Chargers be on panic worry? Herbert's hurt. They will miss both their starting offensive tackles next week. They play the Chiefs.
And guess who they play? And Derwin suspended.
2-2.
I mean,
They're doing better than you thought they would, Zach, at the beginning.
yeah. But, I mean, here comes the decline. They're going to lose this week.
They are on the bye, so they should be healthy by week 6.
All they did was beat the Raiders and the Panthers.
True.
Yeah, but it's definitely a better team when Herbert's there. They have something on offense.
Damn, that must be a tough thing for you to admit.
I'm a
Better
Justin
team
Herbert
when
fan.
Herbert's there.
I'm a Justin Herbert fan.
He's like, uh-oh, is Herbert in trouble losing his job? Easton Stick.
But sadly, there's no fun at poking. You can't poke fun at Justin Herbert anymore because their offense is just so boring. They just run and then.
Honestly, you know what's so funny? This Chargers offense looks identical to the Michigan offense
It really does.
that Jim Harbaugh ran last year. It's like we're going to run it 40 to 50 times a game and throw it 12.
But this was such a grit bowl score, 20-10.
That was
a good pick.
Herbert was throwing it more early on in that game. More than he had the first 2, but
Yeah.
It was Cam Hayward that hurt him, right?
I think so.
I think last year or 2 years ago when he sacked
And there you
him.
go. It's like a Pittsburgh defense. They just injure the other
Exactly.
team's best players, and then
How you win.
games.
Mhm. And the Steelers have a lot of winnable games coming up. I looked at their schedule earlier. And even their hard games, they play the Jets in 4 weeks, but most of their hard games just come
Aren't that hard?
in the division, Ravens, Bengals, and those are always winnable every year, no matter if it's Kenny Pickett, Justin Fields, whoever's back there. It's going to be a dogfight. Shout out to the AFC North, man. Shout out to the North.
Speaking of the AFC North, let's talk about a non-AFC North game. This was a pretty good game. It wasn't a lot of offense. The Eagles pulling out against the Saints. The Saints' offense did not look like it did first 2 weeks, but I would say their defense played very well in this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
It's not on their defense.
No, they played well.
No,
Man,
defense played well.
Saquon Barkley, dude, he looks nasty
He
there.
went off. Jalen Hurts.
He's trying to make up for the previous week where he dropped a game-winning catch.
Yeah, against
And then
Hurts
blew a fourth quarter lead.
Meanwhile, Jalen Hurts keeps it going with more turnovers than he has touchdowns.
That's okay though.
Rough, but
Saquon Barkley scored twice.
Man, could
Dallas
you
Goedert
imagine?
did everything except score.
that Derek Carr is a murderer. I don't know if you guys saw the stats. New Orleans did not have a murder in 18 days, like the longest stretch in history. When the Saints were undefeated, they lost immediately. 2 days later, someone was murdered.
That's kind of an interesting
Derek,
concept to think about, actually.
Derek Carr.
Oh, it's actually, you know what's so crazy? That is actually 1,000% a real thing. If you look at Detroit's crime statistics, like over the past 10 years, you notice a sharp decline in the violent crime rate when Detroit gets good.
Dude, I bet back when the Pistons were in the final, the police station phones were like quiet for like 3 hours, and then they lost, and then they were just jumping off the charts again.
Well, obviously, Saints are going to be in a competitive team this year. Do you think their offense is going to be more like what we saw weeks 1 and 2, or more like week 3? And they did lose Eric McCoy, their center, for I think like 8 weeks, who's their best offensive lineman, who many Saints fans are very nervous about seeing this team without.
You know what this looked like, dude? This looked like the Derek Carr that we all know and love and hold so dearly. This was a Derek Carr game if I've ever seen one. This is why I'm not scared of the Saints as long as they're in the division and Derek Carr is the quarterback. We've seen our best Derek Carr days.
Zach?
So over this white boy.
I tell you what, I think when I'm looking at at least next week, when I'm looking at next week in terms of like, okay, how are the Saints going to do it? The reason I'm not that worried about this offensive line next week is because they go up against the Atlanta Falcons, which they don't have a good pass rush. They just don't. Do I think that the backup can be serviceable enough to protect Carr enough for him to have a game against the Falcons? I do. So
and Falcons, their offense was not the same after missing it. They lost 2 linemen, McGurry and Dahlman, on that Sunday game. So that Saint front seven could be pretty dangerous against a depleted Falcons line.
Yeah.
All right, Trevor, let's talk about this one. A guy who I had as the second worst quarterback in the NFL through 2 weeks. Bo Nix leading the Broncos, destroying your Bucs who you praised so much. You said Baker was an MVP. This team was a team to beat in the NFC. And then Bo Nix and a guy named Tyler Beatty as their leading rusher destroyed the Bucs. How do you come back from this, dude?
Well, first of all, it's not even how do you come back from this, because all you just have to do is just, win a very winnable game next week, and the week after that, we got.
I just noticed, Trevor, this week you happened not to post a picture of the Bucs jersey on.
Wonder why.
I was throwing up. I wasn't wearing it.
Oh, okay. It's just that's convenient.
Yeah, but don't worry. When you're in the NFC,
if the Ravens win this week, you be damn sure he's going to post a Ravens jersey photo.
Yeah, and if the Ravens win this week, dude, it's going to be like, it's my Super Bowl. I don't care. The Ravens beat the Bills. Now you're going to clip that when the Bills win and Lamar Jackson gets hurt or something, dude. I'm going to come to this show so drunk. But yeah, the Bucs couldn't get anything going, man, offensively.
Sometimes the Ravens get carried, and then there's just no Ravens.
Not even like it was a turnover bug either. Baker Mayfield had a fine game, just a bunch of stuff underneath. But yeah, Bo Nix looked well. He looked good.
He looked healthy. He looks like a healthy young man.
Yeah, he looked not very sick. But Trevor, the Bucs need to bounce back after that. This is such an easy game to be 3-0, and then you got the Falcons and Saints beating up each other next week. This would be a great time to be 3-0, but the next best thing is 2-1. The Eagles are not going to be an easy opponent, though.
As a Bucs fan, let's get some fantasy input here. Is this going to be Bucky Irving's backfield going forward? Does it sound like Todd Bowles is going to give him more touches going forward?
It's like I think Rashad White still has plenty left in the tank, But I think just like with running backs nowadays, they're just so easily replaceable that like if you got a hot guy like Bucky Irving, pause on that.
Is he a hot guy?
Hang on.
Well, I was
Yeah,
going to
he's a hot
say
guy.
something similar, not exactly the same as what Trevor said. I think with running backs in the NFL, you have to ride the hot hand.
Yeah, definitely.
So
And
like
if he happens to be
whoever's
younger, that's a plus too.
so whoever's cooking at the time, just keep giving them the ball. I mean, you can work in the other guys when the guy is playing well right now gets tired, but at the end of the day, it's about who's playing the best. And if the guy that's playing the best is the younger guy, then you give him the ball more. Now, if he has a couple really bad snaps, maybe you switch it out to try and mix things up a little bit. But
I do think Rachaad White still has plenty left in the tank. I wouldn't throw him out just yet. And plus, nobody on the Bucs had a good fantasy day. I
You
started
want to
Mike
trade
Evans
for him now?
3.5 points.
Do you
Godwin
want to trade
probably
for
only
him?
had. Huh?
Do you want to trade for him then in fantasy?
No, I want Jahmyr Gibbs. My team is nasty, dude. I drafted a really good team. I hope they stay healthy. My team is good, but also like half of the league is injured as well, and none of them are on my team. So,
my roster has a lot of upside and a lot of downside.
Zach's got a lot of potential.
I have a potentially good roster.
Uh-huh.
All right, this game wasn't close. I'll let Zach speak about his boy, and I'll speak about my kind of boy. Will Levis, once again, a lot of good throws and more just awful turnovers, dude. I can't do it anymore. Like, you look at the number, he had 8 incomplete passes and 260 yards, and then he has 3 turnovers, dude. It's like Winston. I can't do it, man. I've hyped him up so much. If Will Levis does not play well against the Miami Dolphins, who might start Tim Boyle or some other terrible backup, if he does not play well in that game, I am over Will Levis. I will officially give up on him. Will Levis, this is your last hope. I will never have Mayo again if you don't play well this Monday night. It's over, man. Come on. This is your last chance. Zach, what do you think of the guy that actually played well in this game?
Malik Willis, baby. I told you guys. Malik Willis is going to cook in Green Bay. Everyone's like, oh, Jordan Love makes all these mediocre receivers look really good. No. The offensive scheme is set up for success to get guys that are good in space the ball and let them make moves. All right? You add a guy that can throw the football pretty well. I'm not going to say he's an incredible quarterback. I'm not.
It's not bad.
He's not a bad quarterback. I'm not going to say he's incredible, though.
He was a first-round pick, right?
Third.
Second.
No, he's like fifth.
He's a third or he's a later round pick. Everyone's projecting to go first round, but then he fell really far.
You can't take a quarterback in the first round, dude. That's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
But I mean, everyone was like, "Oh, Jordan Love is down. The season's over." And I'm like, "They got Malik Willis. They're gonna be fine."
How important?
And what are they since he took over?
How important is coaching, Zach? So you saw
coaching
Malik
is
Willis,
super important.
You saw him in tennis. You saw him be terrible in Tennessee. But in Green Bay, who is a great team dealing with quarterbacks, and Matt LaFleur is a very good coach, where they have gotten everything they could have wanted out of him.
I think coaching is incredibly important, Kerry. And I think that like when you look at guys that have had like career turnarounds, I think it's evident that the situation in coaching is so important to a quarterback's success. And you look at Malik Willis just looks comfortable in Green Bay.
And he looks happy.
He's only been there like a month and a half.
I know, but he looks comfortable and he looks happy and he looks like he can make the plays that everyone thought like, oh, this is the upside for Malik Willis. Like he has potential to have a decent upside.
I don't think he's an NFL starter quality, but he's a guy you could be very comfortable with as a backup if your starter goes down.
I think it depends on the situation because I think right now he's an NFL starter.
I don't want to see how he plays when he has to come from behind. I think he's perfectly suited for like the Steelers, he would play well, but a team that he has to come back from behind, I don't know if he has the arm strength to be able to do that.
I think he has the arm strength.
Which we haven't seen yet, and I don't think we will.
I think he has the arm strength. I don't think the question is the arm strength.
It's a good quarterback in a good situation.
Yeah, it's a good thing to have. He's a great QB2. Better than Sean Clifford.
Yeah.
He is way better than Sean
And
Clifford.
Skylar Thompson, dude.
And he's better than
4
Jordan Love,
QBR.
too. So shout out to Malik Willis.
All right, next one, the Battle of the Poop Bowl. We had Daniel Jones outplaying Deshaun Watson. That was a game.
That was a game.
That was
Neighbors.
a football game. Shout out to Malik.
Neighbors, though, man. Neighbors is a beast.
He's good. He's a good football player.
I will say, not a Deshaun Watson fan, but it wasn't all his fault this game. Their line was awful.
Man, I had Amari Cooper on my bench, but I still
We'll
won.
get to it, Zane. We'll get to it.
We're
We'll
almost
get to it.
Sunday afternoon, Zane. All right, Trevor, let's hear this one. It was your two boys, and Anthony Richardson had a terrible game. Caleb Williams had a terrible first half, and okay, good second half. Good, I'll give him good. What are your thoughts on this game? And Anthony Richardson, I saw this stat. Bryce Young was last in the NFL with like 59% completion last season. Anthony Richardson is at 49. I don't know when the last time an NFL quarterback is at a completion percentage under 50. I don't think it's been like for
Dude,
a long
in the 1960s, dude, he would have been a top 5 QB with those numbers.
It's only been 3 games, but
He's completed 36 passes in 3 games, 12 completions a game.
But this is Anthony Richardson. It would be different if we were talking about Aaron Rodgers. We're talking about Anthony Richardson, man. We all know what it is.
Trevor, you said he was like the future of the NFL week 1 when he threw that
I
one
still
long
believe
touchdown.
that. Do you not?
He has potential to be. I don't know if he'll translate.
It's a good thing they really got this first win, though. I'll tell you that. The Bears have a good defense.
JT looked great in that game.
JT did look like his old self after
Yeah, he
his
did.
last week. He didn't do nothing last week. But
So before Trevor, Zach, what did you think of Caleb Williams? I know what Trevor's going to ramble about, but
I thought that I think right now I think alarm bells should start going off for Chicago fans.
what are you talking about?
I
What?
think alarm bells should start going off for Chicago fans.
Like
At this point.
like it's parade time. Thank God we don't have Justin Fields anymore. You know how many games it would have taken Justin Fields to accomplish? Never
They
mind.
might be-
Let's talk about
they
stats.
would be at least 2-1 with Justin Fields, at least. Justin Fields
No,
will know.
I don't care, and that's bold of you to say after watching your offensive line perform the way they did. Very similar to the Chicago Bears style of offensive line.
You just blame everything on our offensive line, don't you?
No, I don't, and I hate
Caleb
blaming
Williams is
offensive line.
never Caleb Williams' fault. Never.
No,
Sweet
but I
Caleb.
never blame offensive lines. I only do in very certain circumstances, and I do here. Like when you look at those DeAndre Swift runs that I sent in the group chat or on Twitter or something.
That was a horrible play
embarrassing.
call.
Huh?
That was a horrible play call.
Gary, it's 4th and 1.
It
There's
was
like
a horrible play call.
4 offensive line. Okay, it's 4 offensive linemen on their butts. It's a bad play call because it doesn't work.
Did you think that was his best game yet, Zach? Obviously, stat-wise, it was, but life
Stat wise,
isn't
it obviously was. I think
But
it
also-
was his best game yet. But that's kind of the reason alarm bells should be going off in Chicago.
It's
I think, like, Bo Nix is. You look at Bo Nix's flash more, and he has much less talent on his team than Caleb Williams does.
Yes.
But it doesn't matter if you don't have any time to do anything. Just watch it. Just go watch.
No, Trevor, I won't let you do that. No.
Why?
Caleb Williams, his biggest issue coming out of college was he holds the ball too long. He has not fixed that.
He didn't have any issues coming out of college.
Shut up.
He had
That's
no
not
issues.
true.
Perfect prospect. He didn't.
No,
had
he
a
was
perfect
not.
Prospect.
Dude,
Shadur Sanders holds the ball too
everyone,
long. Caleb
every
Williams does
scouting
not.
report talking about Caleb Williams was his main issue is he holds the ball too long. Now he
I
goes
never
to
saw that
Chicago, a team that, like you said, doesn't have a great offensive line. What does that mean, Trevor? It means
Their
you have to get the
offensive line
ball
will get
out
better.
quickly. What does Caleb Williams not do well? He doesn't get the ball out quickly.
Is that his fault?
Yes.
What?
No way. There's no way you guys watch this game if you're blaming Caleb Williams. There's no way.
All
There's
his
no
yards
chance. He had
came,
nothing to do- and he- this is the
all
best
his
thing
yards
about-
and points came in prevent defense when it was like
No.
Over,
I'm
dude.
just gonna let it slide because offensive lines get
If you
better.
if you don't have time to throw, you can't be a great quarterback. Zach should know this more than anybody being a Jaguars fan. I agree. If you don't have time to throw, you can't be a good quarterback. Okay. But when you do have time to throw,
They don't even have time
and
to
you
run.
hold on to the ball too long when there are guys open that you can see that are open, if you watch the all 22 and
That's
he's
not
not
the case.
throwing it because he's trying to find the big play, then it doesn't matter if you have time to throw because you have the time and you hold on to the ball too long and the defense gets there and it causes a sack.
That's not the case, though, for Caleb Williams.
It is.
It's not. It's not. I watched the game. That's not the case.
Oh, my God.
No.
Dude.
Trevor will support this man until the day he dies and never
No, I won't
say anything bad about him.
I'm supporting it because I know it's going to get better. I don't like blaming offensive lines because it's the hardest thing.
You can admit, Trevor,
it's a unit.
has Caleb Williams been a disappointment in his first 3 games? And if you say no, you're just lying to yourself.
No.
It is too soon to know about Caleb Williams, but the fact that he still holds on to the ball too long is concerning.
I don't see that.
He's a rookie. It's his rookie season. Like,
it's obviously too
expected
soon,
of him?
but I think if you're a Chicago fan and people like Trevor exist who are saying this guy is the solution to Chicago, he's going to be the solution because that's what he said during the. That's what you said during the offseason. He's the solution. I can find the quote if you want me to, but it would take time.
Solution. He's the best
I will
quarterback.
find the quote if you want me. I'll find the quote. That's it. I'll find the quote. It's getting posted on Twitter.
You're not going to find
Zach,
it.
There are people like Trevor and fans of Chicago who thought Caleb Williams is a solution. We have the weapons. We just need the quarterback. We have the defense. We just need the quarterback. And Caleb Williams is that guy. He's going to lead Chicago to the promised land. He's going to be like Moses and the Israelites. It's going to be incredible. And you know what? He hasn't been that. Because their offensive line, I'll agree, Trevor, their offensive line's not good. But when their offensive line does have a competitive snap and he holds onto the ball too long and gets sacked, it's insane to blame the offensive line for that because he's trying to look for the big play downfield.
I don't even know what play you're talking about where he held on the ball too long.
I can look it up if you want me to, but it would take too long. I will post it on Twitter later. How about that?
All right, that's fair.
We're talking about many of the turnovers he's had.
Which one? The one that Odunze had in his hands and it got pushed out up in the air? That one?
No, the other one.
Turnover?
That other pick.
What was? Remind me.
The other interception.
Okay, but how did it happen? Remind me.
He threw the ball to the other team.
Okay, but come on.
I don't remember. Do you know what one I do remember? The Anthony Richardson one in the end zone that he threw literally right to the guy.
His arm obviously got hit. His other interception was worse. Yes, it did. His other interception was worse than that because he ran forward at the guy. Anthony Richardson has too strong of an arm.
No, I saw a tweet that was like Anthony Richardson can make 99% of the throws that other quarterbacks can't make.
Oh, there's that. I think that's
he can make the 1%.
That's the one you're talking about, Kerry. Here, I'll pull it up now.
Yeah.
He can make the 1%, but he can't make the 99%.
Also, we already talked about the Panthers, but Raider side, Trevor, is it time for AOC to start over Minshew after the loss to the Panthers?
Their offense was okay in the game. It's just like
no, it wasn't. Their offense was terrible.
All right, this is the pick he was talking about, I believe.
They scored 15 and 4th.
This is the pick. Drop back. Yikes.
Bad.
Can you zoom it in? Well, he's got a guy falling in his chest.
Throw to the ground.
2 Mississippi. 3 Mississippi.
3 Mississippi, and there's a guy in his running back.
3.5 seconds to throw the ball, and you're complaining about that? That is crazy.
Trevor can never have an issue with that.
No. The problem with that throw is that he's throwing to the far sideline on a hitch late.
Okay, that's a bad throw. That's a bad throw. I'm not saying that he doesn't have bad throws. But
the issue with the throw is that it was late itch across the field.
We come
That's
back
the
to the same
easiest pick
point
to make as a defender.
Okay,
this is the same point that I've brought up for weeks. I can admit C.J. Stroud played bad, and I'm a C.J. Stroud fan. You can't admit when your quarterbacks make mistakes.
Gary, I just did. That's one bad throw. That was 3 seconds. I could
pull
pull
up. You were defending it for like 5 seconds, blaming on the O-line all the time.
No. It was a bad throw. It was a bad decision, sure, but it was 2 seconds. I could find you 3-4 minutes.
Now it's 2 seconds, even when I counted it out to over 3?
Nah, because when it was at 2, he was already in his face. It's
All
a
right,
but listen, the O-line is going to get better, like bad O-lines do when they're new units. They mesh together, they work together because they have to.
not
like
necessarily. If you don't have talent, how are they going to get better?
Because it's one of those situations like the Patriots that the only way you can go is up. And it's when it's 5 new guys together, it's the only
They're not. They're all
in the NFL that has to
I think
mesh.
most of their line is back from that last season.
It's the only unit.
I did see a rumor about how they should get back to Yari, which I don't know why no one's signed him yet. But
is he old? Did he? Was it an injury?
You guys are definitely nitpicking bad plays without showing the good ones. This is as bad as ESPN Stephen A breakdowns. No, because Trevor asked for the other pick. I pulled up the other pick. If you're not going to pay attention, don't watch the show.
Yeah, go watch him prevent defense, bud.
Every player has bad plays, obviously. That's not even something I want to talk about.
4 p.m. window. Let's not talk too much about this game. Trevor, is the Dolphins season over? 24-3. Seahawks destroyed them without Tua.
How long's Tua out? 6-5.
They hawked on that Tua, sadly.
Oh, the hawk. Yeah, you have the hawk without the Tua, I guess.
Tua's out till week 8 at least.
In the AFC, that's bad news, dude.
It is.
I guess it just depends on Tyler Huntley.
Sounds like he will start.
Why don't they get Jimmy Garoppolo? Is he healthy? Yeah, right?
I don't think he wants Jimmy Garoppolo in that offense.
I think he's back. With that O-line, he's going to get killed.
Yeah.
Like, Skylar Thompson is not a good quarterback.
Jimmy Garoppolo is decent behind a great O-line.
I thought Skylar Thompson died out there.
Dude, what was his – I don't even really know what QBR means, but a 4?
It was bad.
That's like the worst – ever, probably, right? Because it's 0 to 100.
I don't think it's the worst ever, but it's got to be up there.
Or is it 50 to 100?
Who to 4?
Skylar.
He had an 8.
Oh. I think
it's pretty bad too.
Boyle at a 3.
Yikes!
I think at some point during the game he was at a 3 or a 4, and then by the end of the game he brought it up to an 8. But yeah, I don't know. Good thing I didn't watch that game this week.
They looked awful, dude. The Dolphins are cooked. Seahawks, another easy win over a terrible team for the 3rd straight week. I hope they play somebody good next week. All right.
First place? No. Stupid.
No, Seahawks first place right now.
Yeah, the Rams are 2-1, right?
They're 1-2. They play somebody bad this week.
So are the Niners?
Yeah, Niners 1-2. All right.
Arizona's 1-2?
Yeah. All right, Trevor. We'll let you talk about this one. Ravens beating the Cowboys. Cowboys disappointing again in a big game.
Which one are you more? Which one does this ring more true to you? Dak is overrated or Lamar is underrated?
I think Dak had a fine game.
He got it all the 4th quarter when the game was over.
Kerry, it was a
shout out to the NFC playoffs.
It was like a 3-score game, and Dak just gave it to yards and touchdowns to make his stats look better.
I don't understand.
It was never close, dude.
Zach, maybe
this happens to Dak every year. The game he loses these meaningless games, and he throws 200 yards in the 4th quarter, gets a couple meaningless touchdowns, and pads his stats like always.
Zach, a 2-score a 2-score game with 10 minutes left in the 4th quarter, and Zach throws.
It wasn't a 2-score game.
Dak, yes, it
Trevor,
was.
It was 28-6 when he finally started showing up.
Okay, but I'm talking about 10 minutes left in the 4th quarter.
It was 28-6 in the 4th quarter when Dak finally started doing anything. It was
which made the score what? It
was 28-6 in the 4th quarter, and then Dak put up all these numbers because the game was over, and then Dak put up a bunch of random yards and touchdowns because that's what he always does. Dak is a stat pattern, a stat pattern, and a stat pattern.
Look, Dak will always be overrated, according to.
I don't really.
He can't win the big games. He can put up great stats. He can beat terrible teams. He can have great 4th quarters and meaningless games, but Dak can't win anything, dude.
Kerry.
We know you're a Cowboys fan. It's hard for you to admit.
I'm not. I don't give a shit about the Cowboys. A 2-score game with 10 minutes left.
It was a 3-score game.
Over.
A 3-score game in the 4th quarter.
2-score with 10 minutes left.
It was a 3-score game when he started doing something. Why do you keep bringing up 2-score?
Because I'm saying with 10 minutes left in the game, it was 28-12, and Dak was out there throwing the ball. What should they be doing? Giving it to Rico Dowdle? They almost came back and won the game. Would that have not counted if they came back and won?
It's meaningless stats.
How is it meaningless? You're
it
always
was almost
trying
a great
to win
comeback,
the game.
but it wasn't. He went from 100 yards and no touchdowns. I'm proud of him for getting a couple meaningless touchdowns. Guess what?
I'm not talking about stats. I'm talking about the football game that was being played.
The game was over, dude.
No, it wasn't, Kerry. It was a 3-point game, and they had chances to win this game.
Goodness, dude.
It was a 2-score game with 10 minutes left. In what world is that game over?
Wait, so Trevor, are you arguing the Ravens took their foot off the gas too early?
Yeah, Jim Harbaugh does that a lot. And I follow a lot of Ravens fans on Twitter, and apparently the only reason I know that is because of the Ravens fans that I follow on Twitter. But yeah, they were in super control of this game. Lamar said something even after the
Lamar
game.
almost choked away another game.
That's not true. Lamar didn't do anything to choke away a game.
Well, he was up 3 scores, and then he wasn't.
Okay, but what did he do to choke it?
Not run out the clock, not score more, not,
But he
all
did.
that. He obviously didn't if it went from 28-6 to 28-25, right? You're supposed to run out the clock, maybe score some points, not let the other team get the ball back. But, I guess it's not what the MVP does.
I hate talking to you about football sometimes, man.
Goodness, dude.
The
Choked the game. He had 3 incomplete passes the entire game. Ran for 8.
Trevor, he didn't throw a pass in the second half. No wonder he had 3 incompletions. He threw 12 passes that whole game.
Kerry,
I bet it on him.
Kerry, tell me what Lamar did to choke the game away. Tell me what he did.
He did nothing in the second half.
So the absence of something is what he did.
The goal is to get first downs on offense, right? Right. Trevor, is that the goal of to get first downs, to move the ball down the field, right?
Kerry, I can't fucking talk to you right now, dude. You're pissing me the fuck off.
Is that not right?
Is
that not right? You're not supposed to get is first downs not the goal? To get first downs.
So let me interject here because I'm gonna say this. I think Kerry is consistent on this. I don't necessarily agree with this point, but Kerry is at least consistent on this. Trevor, I think you're a little inconsistent.
About what?
About quarterbacks not moving the ball in the second half, allowing a team to get back into a game because they're not moving the ball and blaming the quarterback.
Okay, but Lamar was passing the ball just fine. He was running the ball just fine. Derrick Henry had a great game. But
then they just stopped.
But Lamar Jackson even said after the game, it was too close. If that game would have kept going, I don't like the way that it was going, the momentum. So, why are we saying that Lamar almost choked? Why are we pointing at the fingers at Lamar?
I think that Kerry, I will say this. I wouldn't put the finger at Lamar. That's not what I would do.
Blame it on the coaching too,
Me personally, I wouldn't point the finger at Lamar. But both of you, this is why I say Kerry's consistent and Trevor's being inconsistent.
Kerry's contradicting himself.
No, Kerry's not contradicting.
Because if the game was over, then how did Lamar almost choke it if the game was over in the fourth quarter? If it was 28-6 and it was over, how did Lamar choke it?
Ran out the clock more.
But how did he almost choke it? Because it was over.
Because then it got close.
But it didn't matter because Lamar knew the game was over and all that Dak was doing was stat padding, so it didn't matter. So which one is it?
Because then he got to run out of the clock.
No, you just want to hate on both of these quarterbacks, and you got to pick one.
I don't.
You're going to hate on Dak.
Lamar is the second best quarterback in the NFL, but if he's the second best quarterback in the NFL, I want to see him ball all the time.
I would say, yeah, he's probably. I think he's 2B.
You can blame this on Harbaugh. It might be Harbaugh's fault. It's also someone on Lamar. This team, they choked. Trevor, who did they play week 1?
The Chiefs.
The Chiefs, who they're winning, and they choked that game. They choked the Raiders. They almost
choked that game. God.
They were winning.
Huh?
They were winning that entire game, right?
No.
Yeah, they were.
They had to come back and win.
They were up that whole game.
No, they weren't. They were down 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. Yeah, get this motherfucker some.
So anyway, my point.
Get this motherfucker some milk.
When the Jaguars lost week 1, both of you came on here and said that Trevor Lawrence choked the game. When I pointed out that he only threw 7 passes in the second half, Kerry was like, "Doesn't matter. He's a quarterback. He's got to do everything." And Trevor was like, Yeah, Kerry's right. He's a quarterback. He's got to do something. And
Trevor will do
now,
whatever it takes
and
to back his
now
quarterback.
Trevor is saying,
Nah, that's not what happened.
no, the quarterback.
Yeah.
No, Lamar wasn't given the opportunity to go out there and win the game because he didn't do anything in the second half. The coach didn't call any plays for him.
I may have bad takes, but at least I'm consistent. You just flip-flop every week.
Yeah.
You guys swear that I talk bad about Trevor Lawrence, and I don't.
Trevor, you can't even remember what you did for
No,
2 days ago.
I don't. Every time this happens, Zach, every time we bring up Trevor Lawrence, Kerry talks bad about him. I say he can make every throw on the field. It's just the mental. The mental is not there like it is with these other elite quarterbacks. And that doesn't mean it's never going to be there. It just means that if you want to be an elite quarterback, you want to be a top 5, top 7, top 8 quarterback, you have to be on top of your game physically, and you have to be on top of your game mentally. Trevor Lawrence can make every throw on the field, but he's not on top of the game mentally right now.
All right. Not Trevor Lawrence time yet. We need to get through these last couple. Lions Cardinals is not that exciting. Any thoughts on this one?
Didn't you guys both take the Cardinals and pick them?
I did. Cardinals offense looked great week 2 and just did nothing against the Lions.
Oh,
Lions
we got to catch
defense
up a little bit on the chat, so I'm just going to real quick. Playoff performance. Critics often point to, he's talking about Dak, his struggles in the playoffs when he has faced criticism for not advancing past the divisional round consistently. Team success. Some argue that Prescott's success is heavily tied to the talent around him, including a strong offensive line and skilled receivers.
Steve, do you use AI to read this?
It's what it feels like.
Inconsistency.
Inconsistency.
He's definitely using AI.
Prescott has shown inconsistency in his performance, leading to questions about his ability to perform under pressure. He's thrown 4 picks in his past
playoff
outings, including 2 in last season's NFC wildcard playoff loss to the Green Bay
This is
Packers.
a man that thinks Chad Pennington
Then he
is
says
killing
Trevor
the
Lawrence
NFL.
equals Dak Prescott, and then he says not AI.
That is AI. Dak Prescott is better than Trevor Lawrence.
I don't know.
All right. Anything else on Cardinals Lions?
Not really.
No.
All right. 49ers Rams. Zach, I've been listening to Zach blabble for years. Brock Purdy can't do anything without his super team. Guess what? CMC was out. Kittle was out. Debo was out. Trent Williams missed part of this game. And Brock Purdy might have played the best game of his life before Kyle Shanahan decided to choke another game with his shitty play calling and the shitty defense and the shitty special teams. Everything with this team. But Brock Purdy,
Lamar gets shit for.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, Trevor.
Good God.
I was thinking the same thing.
But Zach,
that was not the same at all. That was not the same at all.
That's not the same at all.
Not
Trevor.
at all.
It's
Because this
not
wasn't a
at
blowout.
all.
They weren't
Not at
leading.
all.
This was a horrible clock management.
This was a different 3-point game. Oh, man.
You even guys listen to what you say. You must have not watched this game at all.
I sincerely think through everything I say on this show.
You guys did not watch this game at all. Do you not know what
window
happened?
was it? What window was it? Is the 4 o'clock window, right?
There was a minute left in this game. The Niners were up a touchdown. They gave up a 50-yard TD with a minute left.
To Juwan Jennings, who was wide open.
No, to Tulu Atwell.
Right.
Then they got the ball back, and then they had 2 horrible PI calls in a row. Game-winning field goal. Rams won. And then Niners almost won it on the lateral. But Brock Purdy played amazing. Zach probably didn't watch Brock Purdy play amazing, and he's probably going to call him a Juwan Jennings merchant at this time. But, Zach going to be Zach. But
yeah, the other guy was working with great wide receivers too. The other guy, the other side of the ball, he had great wide receivers as well, didn't he?
He's also like a top 6 quarterback in the NFL.
I think he's better than Brock Purdy.
I think I have him 6, Purdy 7 right now.
There you go.
Purdy was throwing Eric Saubert and Ronnie Bell, man.
Wait, so Zach, are we system Purdy right now? You can't make crazy.
That was still great.
One game.
But
much
still.
like Kerry does, because Kerry's
Listen, I've always said Brock Purdy's a system quarterback. I think he's a good system quarterback. In the right system, I think he can be a great quarterback.
Technically, Zach thinks every single quarterback is a system quarterback.
Yeah, I said that last week. I don't know why we're even having this conversation.
So, yeah, I guess. But Rams, they showed fight for a team everybody thought was dead. All right, Sunday Night Football. fucking every week, dude. Mahomes plays like shit, gets bailed out by whatever it is, defense this time. Didn't no call in the end zone. I can't take it anymore. I'm sick of Mahomes. It's upsets me.
This is like the thing of which this has nothing really to do with Mahomes and the refs and anything. But like Kansas City, like much like last year, Mahomes didn't have a very impressive regular season. It looked like they were kind of just coasting. And then same with Kelsey. Kelsey's not doing anything out there.
Yeah.
Just turning it up to another notch in the playoffs. We'll see if they can do it again. Hopefully the AFC will be a bit more competitive. Some very good teams.
Mahomes has not been a great quarterback in 2 years.
Huh?
He has not been a great quarterback in 2 years.
That's simply false, bud. He had a very good playoff run last year.
He looked good in the playoffs last year. I
He
think
did.
He's a lot better in the playoffs than what is in the regular season.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
So what does that tell you?
What? He played
That
two
he
big
played
games in the
last
playoffs?
2 years. 'Cause
What?
that was
Were we
last
watching the regular season play like shit and they call him the GOAT?
Yeah,
My
man.
God,
He
he's
has
not even-
3 rings, dude.
Eli Manning is 2.
Okay.
Oh, dude, me and Zayden had this argument like a couple weeks ago. Eli Manning is like arguably the most overrated quarterback of all time.
Patrick Mahomes is the most overrated quarterback of all time. He's very good, yeah. He's not anywhere near the GOAT.
I swear,
No.
if Eli Manning gets into the Hall of Fame and
Not.
if he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, I'm going to be pissed off.
His first ballot. Who else is in his class? Do we know off the top of our head? Probably not. Right?
Jimmy Smith, Fred Taylor is again. They're both again up.
Fred Taylor's been trying to get in there, dude, for a minute now.
I know it's
They ought to let
ridiculous
him
that he's not in
man.
yet.
Yeah,
It's ridiculous that he's not in yet. But
he should be in.
All right, let's head to Monday Night Football. We'll start with a fun game and wrap it up with the one that might kill Zach.
it's not going to kill me.
Cincinnati is the first game in I forget how long without no punts.
Eli got 2 rings against the GOAT, carried by his defense. I don't give a shit. All right.
David Tyree. Jaden Daniels is the real deal, dude. He looked incredible.
He looked really, really good. I don't know.
It was the
Again,
whole
there's
offense.
still some things that worry me about Jaden Daniels. His size and his I don't even want to read the chat right now. I'm getting triggered.
About
it's-
Eli Manning.
Yes.
That's a Giants fan you're talking to in there, so careful.
God,
He also
where
ran-
was I? I completely lost my train of thought. My worries is he's not a very big guy, and he still doesn't shy away from contact as much as he should. That being said, he did look really good Monday night.
And he has ran a lot less in the last 2 games than he did in the first game.
Did he hit your over, Kerry?
Nope.
What
Got
was
$0. Lost me money.
What was his
But
line?
otherwise,
32?
great team. His line was 50. He got 39.
Oh, wow.
God, I haven't won any money betting on NFL games this year. I have
either.
won money on college games, though.
Can you use Prize Picks in Georgia?
Yes.
Dude,
Yeah,
Zach,
he could actually get flex, not like us.
pair that Caleb Williams 0.5 with somebody with good odds. It'll bring you back $40. I'm 3 for 3.
Yeah.
Using
Just
that.
a 2-person power play.
Yeah, the first week I took a Henry touchdown. Second week I took somebody else, and this week I actually took ETN rushing yards.
That's
So
so random.
I just need Caleb Williams to get 1 passing yard on Sunday.
Watch him knock.
Rich man.
He pulls an Aaron Rodgers, tears his Achilles on the
Nice.
first play of the game.
Is the Bengals season over?
I don't think it's over. We're still very early on in the season.
Their
I think
offense
they're
was
still a
good.
decent team,
Yeah, Joe
but
Burrow-
they got to turn it
Burrow
around
did.
quickly.
Right. You can't afford to be dropping games in this AFC, dude.
Burrow played great last night. Their offense
He has had 2 back-to-back good games. Their offense was good. Just their defense, they've allowed everything. Again, the Commanders scored on every drive. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so did the Bengals did too, though.
Dude.
The Bengals did too, though. Except for the one that the best kicker in the NFL per you missed a field goal.
I haven't said that in like 2 years. I think Brandon
You
Aubrey.
said that literally a week ago.
Nah, Aubrey. Ever since Aubrey was on my fantasy.
Trevor, I will pull it up again.
No, y'all cannot. No. Go ahead.
Because you know you said it.
You can try. I didn't say it. Ever since Aubrey, I've said Aubrey and McLaughlin are my 2 favorite kickers now. Anyways, do we have any closing thoughts on the Commanders or the Bengals? The Commanders,
Something at the Bills and Jags, man.
the Bengals.
Let's put Bills and Jags.
Let's wrap it up.
Game.
I say me and Trevor go first, and then let Zach give his eulogy.
I already said that I Trevor Etienne hit or Travis Etienne, so shout out to Travis Etienne for hitting. I watched this game for like 20 minutes, and I was like, I can't anymore. I just I flipped it over to a much better game. Oh, big fan of Monday night doubleheaders, by the way. I wanted
It's
to
terrible.
say
It's
that.
horrible.
Dude,
It's
what if
terrible.
the only game we had to watch was 47-10? What if that's
They
all
need
we
to
had
put
to
it
watch?
at like 7 and 10. They need to spread it out so you can watch both of them.
Well, I appreciated it because there was an onslaught happening. Zach, take it away, man.
Zach was last. I get to go first because I need to go after you for a little bit.
Why?
All this offseason, we have here, blah, blah, blah. Josh Allen is nothing without Stephon Diggs. Nothing without Stephon Diggs. Blah, 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 blah. He's going to fall apart. He's going to choke. Mr. Turnover, blah, blah, blah. Guess what? He is playing better than he ever did with Diggs. That might have been one of the best games of his career last night. He has 7 touchdowns, 0 interceptions in 3 games. Josh Allen is 3-0. Bills are back. Trevor is just going to blabble some random nonsense about not playing defense, whatever. Josh Allen is absolutely cooking. He did
It's not
not do
nonsense.
anything at all.
It is what it
Diggs
is.
Allen, Josh Allen is better off with that fraud drama boy. Also, Trevor Lawrence is a bust. He's terrible and he's cooked. But sorry,
See,
Trevor.
Kerry just sounds like when you listen to Kerry talk, it's just the same as like scrolling on Twitter for like 25 seconds.
Hey, man.
Any top 5 quarterback will play well against 3 bad defenses. Stephon Diggs was the best thing that Houston had going for him on Sunday. But go ahead, Zach. Talk about
It's a
this
revenge
guy.
game.
Huh?
It's a revenge game.
So last week I said I don't believe in this Jags team.
He still doesn't.
I said that last week. So why would I believe against this Jags team against the best quarterback in the NFL? It wouldn't make sense. Wouldn't make sense. I didn't expect them to win this game. I got a lot of texts in the group chat about, oh, Zach's crying right now. Zach's losing his mind. No,
He is.
it's what I expected. I think at this point, Doug Peterson's lost the locker room. I mean, typically when you see blowouts like this, that's kind of what you have to think. The locker
Like
room's
with the
gone.
Chargers last year.
Yeah, the locker room's gone. They don't believe in what Doug Peterson's trying to sell them. And I think honestly it started in the fourth quarter of week 1. I think it started in the fourth quarter of week 1 and it's carried over into week 2 and now in week 3. I think he's lost the locker room. I think that I mean, at literally every Jags fan on Twitter is saying Peterson needs to be gone. He's a cancer for this team, blah, 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 blah. But I did see something on Twitter about they don't think, like someone that knows Shad Khan say he's angrier than they've ever seen him been. Typically, he's a pretty soft-spoken guy and doesn't get super mad.
Damn it, I was going to make a Muslim joke, but I can't.
But
Whoa! What the fuck?
Kerry Dempsey
Keep
equals
going.
Skip Bayless. That's why we keep him on the show. But like, I would be shocked if Doug Peterson survives the season in Jacksonville. I don't know what the future looks like for this Jacksonville team.
It's not good.
I think that honestly, I think that this team is much better than 0-3, and it makes it's like, honestly, it's like, well, after watching the collapse in week 1 and then how we played in week 2, I was like, okay, well, I don't know why, like, I ever left the position. Like, if these guys are still here going into this year, I'm out on the Jags. Okay? So I'm not saying, so first off, I want to say, I'm not done with the Jags. I hate to say it, everybody. I'm not done with the Jags. I'm not leaving the fan base. But I am out on the Jags for this year. They are not doing anything this year. My updated prediction is 5-12.
Yeah, I'm looking at their schedule right now.
Can't wait to watch the Jags and the Titans. That's going to be
Not a lot of games that you can be like, Okay, yeah, like the Jags will take care of business there. They play the Patriots, which should.
That's the poop bowl right there. The poop bowl.
But all these also they play the Raiders, which should be a win. The Titans, they should at least split that, I think. But this schedule, I mean, they're just good competitive teams week after week. A lot of
weird.
This too.
I have a weird feeling the Jags are gonna beat the Texans next week. I don't know why.
But this is the best thing to happen in the FC South. It's always like the last 8 or 9 weeks. It's like somebody who's just terrible just comes to the top and takes somebody off the top. But the Texans are looking like.
First, how good the AFC South was talked to be this offseason, it's still terrible.
Yeah, that's been bad early this year.
The Colts have not looked that good. The Texans got embarrassed. The Titans and Jags are awful. It's a mess.
Yeah.
Still anybody's division.
There was one good.
Zane says make the Muslim joke.
There was
Or
one
Zane
good
would say
thing.
that.
If there's a.
And then he says Doug Peterson is bombing. I agree.
There's one good thing if you're a Jaguars fan, Zach. Slightly good thing. Christian Kirk had not been involved in the offensive ball through week 1 and 2, and he had a couple good catches last night. So there's something. Something.
It's this team, and I like this season, like preseason. I was like, there's a lot of. I think it was Trevor that said this, and I think we're seeing the downside of it rather than the upside of it. I think Trevor, you said when we did the AFC South episode that this Jags team is full of potential. And we're seeing the lack of the fulfillment of that potential through 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Mac Jones coming in and fumbling on his third play was hilarious. Couldn't stop laughing. And
is that a Mac Jones jersey you're wearing?
That is a Drake May.
Oh, okay.
Also, the Trevor Lawrence freaking out for his own teammate was hilarious. Zach, I don't know if you saw that video.
I didn't see that video, no.
There's an offensive lineman that I don't think he's blocking anyone. He's just kind of backing up. And Lawrence tucks the ball, does a spin move, and then gets sacked. But it looks like he's spinning away from his own player. But
he thought his own lineman was his defender.
There's just not a lot of good to come out of that game.
No.
Probably
And
there wasn't any good.
They might have the worst right tackle duo in history with Anton Harrison and Walker Little.
What? I thought Anton Harrison was kind of good 2 years ago.
Terrible.
He was good last year. He's looked terrible this year. Cam Robinson has looked terrible this year.
And Walker Little had 2 penalties in 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Is Morse good?
Ugly.
Is Morse good?
Morse has been subpar in run blocking. He hasn't looked that good. But I mean, the most disappointing one to me, honestly, is Cam Robinson. I mean, he's the most expensive player on that O-line, and he looks terrible.
Did he get a contract or franchise him?
Huh?
Did he get a contract or did he get franchise?
He got a contract a couple of years ago.
I need to get something.
At some point, I honestly thought bringing in a vet to play center, that makes sense. He's a guy that's been around the NFL for quite a long time. He's good. He's experienced. He's highly graded by everybody going into the year. Mitch Morse, so he's going to get these guys in line. Cam Robinson is having the worst season of his career. Anton has just looked bad this season at right tackle. Scherf looks washed.
At least he's healthy.
For now.
Zach, Carey is, I guess you said it because you said you're done with him for the year. Carey's already on to 2025. Are you on to
2025?
I might be on to 2027, dude.
Because, I mean, yeah.
Well, Zach,
the whole AFC South has a hard schedule. The Texans have to play the Bills with their division opponents. They also have to play the Bills, the Packers, the Jets, the Lions, Cowboys, Chiefs, Ravens. I don't know. Maybe if the Jags can turn something around and win 9 games. Like this division's going to be pretty beat up by the end of the year, I think.
On a more likely thing, Zach, looks like Jaguars probably gonna have a top 5 pick. What position do you think they need the most? Like they get like Travis Hunter, wide receiver, get Will Campbell on the offensive line.
Travis Hunter would be.
I don't think wide receiver is the issue.
I guess Hunter could play corner too, and they desperately need a corner.
We desperately need DBs. Like I was saying this going into last draft, and I was like, "Oh man, like the DBs are falling. Like there's so many good corners available. Please fucking take one." And we didn't.
Yeah.
I said that 2 years ago with Brian Branch, and we didn't take one. So, like, the defensive back, the problem with our defensive backfield isn't that we don't have good players. The problem is it's so thin. If one guy goes down, you're screwed. We don't have anyone behind him.
And some of those rookie corners that you mentioned have been having very good. Nate Wiggins for Baltimore's playing very well. Kamari Lassiter for Houston already has an interception. But Jags don't got either one of them. Got nothing.
Wait, Andrew Wingard's coming back soon. Season is saved. The white guy with the long blonde hair looks like Trevor Lawrence's cousin.
Is he a corner or a defensive back?
He's a safety.
Oh.
The princess promised. Honestly, do you think the real answer, if Trevor Lawrence cuts his hair, can the season be saved? Could that be the answer that we've been searching for?
What are we talking about right now?
It could happen. That might be what he needs. The opposite of Samson.
Listen, I don't know what the plan is for the Jaguars this year. Frankly, I'm already in the 2025 offseason. So, like, I'm thinking about, like, oh, what do we do next draft? Because there are, like, honestly, it's like there are so many holes we have to fill in this team. Like, so many. The offensive line, which I thought would be improved, hasn't been good. So it's like, okay, well, we got to fix that somehow. The defensive backfield, the depth is an issue, and that has to be fixed. And it's hard to do all that in one offseason, especially when you spent so much money the past couple of years to bring in guys like Gabe Davis or guys like Mitch Morse or guys like Brandon Scherf to help shore up those spots like the wide receiver core and the offensive line, and bringing guys to fill in on the run game with Eric Armstead and hopefully get a decent interior defensive lineman. And Eric Armstead's been okay. Gabe Davis has been okay. Mitch Morse has been okay. Scherf has been bad, but he's in the third year of his contract. So it's like, it's tough to see, like, okay, how do you fix this team that has so many missing pieces that it didn't seem like they had 2 years ago? Like, what happened to this team?
Sure.
And I don't know. I don't know the answers.
Guess whenever.
Right now, all I have is questions. I don't have any answers.
Good way to end it. So, all right. Anything else for tonight?
Do you want to do some rapid fire or no?
Let's do a couple.
Okay.
All right. I guess Trevor's not here, so I'll start it. Name a random former Bucks player.
Kyle Williams.
Kyle Griffin. Where would you rank Deshaun Watson among quarterbacks right now?
Dude, I haven't done my quarterback list in a while.
You need to do one. You haven't done one this year.
I know.
On my official list, he is 27th right now.
That seems about the right area for him.
Yeah. Trevor, where's he on your list? Where do you rank Deshaun Watson right now among quarterbacks? Trevor, we haven't seen a list from you yet this year either.
He's probably about 24, 25.
That's fair. True or false? LSU is wide receiver university. Lately? True.
I'd agree. Lately, yeah.
I kind of want to barely give it to Ohio State. It's one of them. You can't go wrong, LSU or Ohio State. Right?
I think LSU's better than Ohio State currently.
Who's the best quarterback in the NFC South?
Old Bake. Carrie's going to say Andy Dalton.
Red Rifle.
Old Bake.
Sadly,
I think it's Kirk.
Sadly, it's probably Kirk Cousins.
What 3-0 team doesn't belong as a 3-0 team?
Can you give me the 3-0 team so far?
Seahawks, Steelers, Vikings, Chiefs, Bills.
Steelers.
They
Seahawks
all
have,
do in their own little way.
Chiefs have been bailed out of every game.
I think it's Steelers. They have great
It's the
defense.
Steelers, but it's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
It's just because they play inversely.
Yeah.
True. All right, who is the best quarterback of this group if they played in today's NFL? Steve Young, Dan Marino, John Elway, Brett Favre. I think
Dan
Elway.
Marino in today's
Marino.
game.
Yeah. Young as a mobile would be fun, though.
Yeah.
All right. And last one. Who is the best NFL prospect of this group? Shedeur Sanders, Quinn Ewers, Carson Beck, Jalen Milroe.
We did this last week. Why didn't we do the name a random buck?
No, we didn't. I tweeted
We
this.
did. You just weren't here for it.
Oh,
I
Gaines
tweeted
Adams.
this 4 days ago, Trevor.
I swear we did this last week because
I don't
asked
remember
those.
this last week.
No, I like Jalen Milroe. I think he's getting good in the NFL.
The best prospect?
Yes.
I think it's probably Beck. Sadly, as much as
Sadly, I do think it's probably Beck.
I'm surprised you didn't say Sanders, Trevor.
I think the highest upside is Milroe, but I think the best prospect is Beck.
I think Ewers is the safest, but also the least ceiling.
safest. It depends on the situation.
The safest is absolutely Carson Beck. I think.
I like Ewers. But I think Ewers is at best.
I'm not a big fan of Ewers.
He's at best Derek Carr.
I think if my team has a good offensive line, a good pass protecting line, that I would think about taking Shedeur Sanders over Quinn Ewers.
What's up, Ahmad? How we
There's
doing?
just something I don't like about Shedeur.
There's something I don't like about Quinn. Oh, what could that be, Gary? Oh,
He is a Boston sports fan, so I think
Yeah.
yes.
Hey, I took Milroe over all of them.
you're right. I like Milroe, but I don't know about. He doesn't seem like a very NFL. He seems great in college.
Yeah, I don't know.
He has
It
a
reminds me a lot of
but I
Anthony Richardson, sadly.
He
I
has
feel
a
like
good arm.
Richardson had a better arm, though. But Milroe's a better runner. But yeah, that's it for Rapid Fire. Follow us on Twitter at Brearley Football. See all these tweets every day. All day.
Alrighty, thank you everyone for watching. We'll see you guys next week following some Week 4 NFL action. Turn down for what we in here. Shout out to Ahmad Taylor. Thanks for showing up. We'll see you guys next week. Adios.